What's a non-obvious sign someone is rich? In my experience as a waiter in a fine dining establishment, they treat you like a normal fucking human. Not sure if my boss coined the term, but a 100K millionaire will treat you like you're just the help and make you feel like less of a person. Most of the time, they will stay quiet about money, but never balk when presented with a bill. They will be very selective in those they choose to be friends with, for various legal reasons. I had a close friend and I never realized he was from a wealthy family until he died. He told me that his father and brother lived in another state and ran a moving company, so I pictured a two guys in a truck type of company. When I looked up his father to send condolences after my friend's death, I learned that the company operated out of multiple states and is worth millions. Kids in my public elementary school made fun of me because I lived in an old fucked up house. I was ashamed of taking my friends inside because it was so old, and because I thought we were poor. They never got to see the columns and garden in the first indoor courtyard or the fountain in the second one. The phrase first indoor courtyard is absolute gold. Our old was old as F. People would enter and comment how old our house was. Never felt rich. Then later found out our area is worth almost $20,000 per square meter, and we're on average 2,100,000 skem cuts. Kids with newer houses were worth much less. Casually having expensive hobbies, stuff like sailing, skiing, and golfing, especially in areas where those activities aren't as accessible, and if they've been doing it for a long time. You live in the Midwest, but you've been surfing since you were 10. Probably rich. Golf is a bog standard middle-class hobby, at least in Scotland. They wear very nice clothing without any brand identification. This is kind of funny. I knew someone whose family was new rich, and he would go to lengths to buy brands that he could remove the brand tags because he didn't want people to know what brands he wore. No logos. Can confirm. I went on a date one time and was giving her a hug goodbye after having a nice evening. I felt her turn my collar inside out so she could read the tag. I mean, brand identification is mostly just showy and serves no real purpose. Think about it. Buying expensive clothing because it is well made, comfortable, or has a certain look that you like are all practical reasons to spend more on clothing. But if that clothing item has a clearly visible label or brand, what does that actually say about you if you wear it? Other than I am choosing to show everyone that this is a brand item. It doesn't actually make the item any better made or authentic. All it does is show that you care, that others around you know you were willing to spend the money on it. That just makes you look like a rube, and potentially that you want to look like you can spend money, which you may not even have, and that's just unsophisticated. You want a Brooks Brothers, Vineyard Vines, Orvis, etc. piece of clothing. Great, you want the whole world to know that's what you are wearing? Why? I am not paying to be someone else's rolling billboard. If you are wearing the right clothing, the right people will recognize it. No need for a logo. Hasn't got shit all over him. Must be a king. Real generational wealth keeps an extremely low profile. They have no digital footprint. They actually pay people to keep information about them off the internet and out of any publications. They will keep a low profile, driving cars that blend in, nice, reliable vehicles, but nothing too flashy. If their couches don't touch the wall, I have a few couches and none touch a wall. Hey, can you lend me a few dollars, Richie Rich? Really wealthy people don't need to prove they are wealthy. If you're insanely wealthy, a 500K private yacht charter isn't special. For people trying to be rich, they flaunt it to show how wealthy they are. Really rich people are not desperate, generally, for your admiration because they are wealthy. Their friends don't give a shit if you're on a 500K a week charter. They probably are too. Doesn't bother with the pistachios that are hard to open. That's where the true wealth shines. Pre-shelled pistachios. Never talks about money. Guess I'm rich, lol. You failed the test by saying that. You are no longer rich. They don't have luggage when taking a flight. So many wealthy people have multiple homes with separate wardrobes at each. To just jump on a plane with no carry-on bags must be a dream, lol. Everyone else losing their jobs, cars all of a sudden costing double what they did before, inflation making your money feel useless, eggs become a luxury item. None of that changes anything about their spending habits. They carry on as if nothing has happened. They never bother commenting on it. They just go on getting a new Volvo every 3 years, having 2 eggs for breakfast, buying the prime steak at the grocery store. They were never particularly flashy before, but their conspicuous lack of panic speaks volumes about their financial security. At the risk of coming off as naive, I don't think you can count able to buy groceries without worrying as rich. That's middle class at best. I really don't panic about groceries, but it in the end determines how much you have left over at the end of the month to do fun stuff. I really don't think I can be counted as rich. Hair with no split ends. Bald me is clapping. They go out of their way to eat meals with fresh vegetables, and not just corn or tomatoes either. It's an odd one, but I have noticed the wealthier friends I have eat differently than the middle-class friends I have. What country are you from? Around here, fresh veggies are always around every meal for all social classes. People will have cucumber just to snack on. It's a wild idea that only the rich might eat fresh things in other places. They don't look at the price tag when shopping. The only rich people I know are so obsessed with money that they look at the price of everything. It's like they have to get the best deal or they were had. Yes, this. In college, I was a nanny for a family that owns a very well-known national food chain. They were filthy rich in a way I can't even describe, yet they had me going to the supermarket with coupons every day. I had to buy things on specific days of the week that they were on sale, and often was sent back to make returns. At the time, I couldn't fathom why they would care so much about saving a few bucks that was literal pennies to them, but I now understand how money is a mindset. Thanks for watching. Don't forget subscribe this channel, put a like and watch our next videos. Bye.